What's going on, guys? I'm IcyRhythms. Welcome back to another video. And in this one, I want to talk about how Fallout 76 is being received. Because honestly, I'm slightly taken back. I'm a little taken back. I'm a little bit surprised that this game is getting review bombed the way that it has. I think my guess was somewhere between like 65 and 70%, something like that. But it's worse than that. It's a lot worse than that. To be around the 45-50 range for a game, that's bad news. They have released a pile of shit. No one asked for this game. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I think that's probably the biggest problem, right? Because like any other Bethesda game, the bugs and issues that Fallout 76 has, which looks to be probably the worst yet as far as games they've released at launch, would be forgiven if this had been a traditional Fallout experience and more of an apology game, much more of an RPG than what they gave us with Fallout 4. A lot of that stuff that's a problem for some people right now would probably be forgiven, and I think this game would probably sit somewhere in the 82 to 90 range as opposed to where it sits now. But I can't even lie. I can't even lie. It puts a smile on my face to see this game get review bombed, not just by the critics, but the fans as well. The people that went out and bought this game and supported a $60 early access game, they are tearing this game apart. And I'm not even really talking about the gamers that went out there and didn't really do the proper research and knew what this game was before buying it. I mean, I really think those people that are pissed off more or less have themselves to blame. I'm not really talking about them. I'm talking about the people that were on the fence or that were really excited for the game. They knew what it was before buying it and still came out disappointed because Bethesda should have offered up a better experience. We got games out here that released in 2018, just off the top of my head, like God of War and Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption 2, Dragon Quest XI, which is probably my current game of the year, released, while not perfect, and much better, a much more polished experience than you could ever hope for with any Bethesda game that's ever been released, definitely in the last 10 years. I think that goes without saying. It's time to drop the excuses. We can't keep making excuses for this company. I used to be in that camp. I used to be a Bethesda apologist. To come out of that camp, I feel like a much better consumer, a much better gamer, because it's no longer, I can't make excuses for this company anymore. The engine, the games that are just released a buggy mess. These patches that they're releasing for Fallout 76, 40 gigs, 50 gigs. I think one of my buddies was telling me one of the patches was like 47 gigs and they only fixed one of the quests or something in that patch. It's like, why are these patches so fucking large, right? And the sales are down. The sales of Fallout 76, I think that puts an even bigger smile on my face. The sales are down in a big way compared to Fallout 4. So that's a huge thing. Don't do this again. Don't even for a second, Bethesda, think that you can do something like this again. If you try to make the next Elder Scrolls game, the next big Elder Scrolls release, something like this, you need to go back to the drawing board now. And maybe that game shouldn't come out for like another 5, maybe even 10 years or something. Get off of this engine. Think about it a little bit. Whatever you're doing with Starfield, maybe you were thinking that this Fallout 76 thing would work and you were going to have some online component to those games, especially Starfield. I can see it coming. Play with your friends, a real RPG in space, and then you buy the game and it's a pile of trash because it's on this same engine. A lot of broken promises, $60 AAA games, and in the case of Fallout 76, $60 for an early access game, because that's exactly what this game is. You got people out here, oh, I'm loving it. And if you're having a lot of fun with this game, that's fine. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you paid $60 for an early access game made by a massive team. You got Todd Howard out here making all these claims about, oh, this is the most ambitious thing we've ever done by the largest team that we've ever had. And we've even had help from id Software and our guys over here, like people under their umbrella, helped them with this game in many different areas. That's what he's claiming, that this is the most expensive, most ambitious thing that they've ever done by their largest team that they've ever had, and it's a pile of trash. You still can't get it right, and this is the most ambitious thing that you've ever done, and you still can't get it right. I mean, did people really think that this was going to turn out well? A Bethesda game on that engine, right? An online Bethesda game. Think about that. Online Bethesda game on that engine. Did you really think this was going to turn out well? You were kidding yourself. Plain and simple. Pete Hines and Todd Howard gotta be two of the biggest jokers in gaming right now. Todd Howard is pretty much just the same as Pete Hines at this point. Just a PR guy out here hyping games up, damage controlling for games. I mean, I know people give Randy Pitchford a lot of shit, and you can even compare that situation to the Fallout 76 situation, because with Battleborn, Randy Pitchford's out here, oh, this is the biggest thing we've ever done, the most expensive thing that we've ever done. How can that even be? How can you even try and convince me that this is the biggest and best, most expensive thing that you've ever done with a game like Battleborn, a competitive multiplayer game on those tiny-ass maps in comparison to something like Borderlands 2? How can you even try to convince me of that? Maybe in marketing, trying to market your ass off because you knew the game was a piece of trash, and that's exactly what we have here. Crazy marketing for Fallout 76, maybe to a lesser extent than Fallout 4. I feel like they did a much better job with marketing for that game, but still really heavy marketing for a game that just isn't good. This damn sure isn't a very good Fallout game. I think that this game is now quite easily in the eyes of many Fallout fans the worst Fallout game. Maybe people are having fun with it again, and like I said, that's fine. Not trying to tell you what to do with your money, but I just want you to stop and think for a moment. A lot of my videos on this channel, a lot of my content isn't to piss you off. It's not even really to get you hyped up or excited or feel positive in some way. That's great if stuff like that can happen. I want people to feel positive when they watch my videos, but I really want you to think. I want you to think about paying $60 for a game that was told to you was the biggest and best project that they have done yet. Do you think they're not going to tell you that about Starfield? Do you think they're definitely not going to say the same thing about Elder Scrolls 6? They're going to tell you the exact same shit. It's going to end up in pretty much the same situation in terms of launch bugs and tons of issues out the ass. You know it's going to. It's just, I can't excuse it anymore, and I won't. You know, I think I've talked about this a little bit before. I am done supporting early access games, especially something like the pile of dog shit that Fallout 76 is. I can't support empty promises that just, again, end up being broken promises. Most of them anyway. I mean, some developers, right, they do come through. They do deliver on a lot of those promises when games are in early access, but just thinking about that business model and what it brings, because that's what Bethesda sees, guys. They see that. They see it especially with PC gamers. Oh, PC gamers, they love early access games, and they'll just keep dumping money into this project if we tell them it's the best thing ever and we can keep them interested. Well, Fallout 76 just isn't interesting enough. It's running on an absolutely garbage engine, and I think people are tired of it. I think people are genuinely tired of Bethesda's bullshit at this point, and Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, that shit needs to be on another level for people to forgive this. After Fallout 4, and then we let them have that Fallout Shelter spin-off game, and now they're doing this with Fallout 76. I think people really have Bethesda in the shitter list, if I'm being honest. I know I do. They're F for me. I can't even put them at a D anymore, right? I had Bethesda at one point as like a B developer, and then I put them all the way down to a D after Fallout 4. I don't even know if we can give them a grade at this point, because I think they've become such a shitty company. A great publisher for other developers making great games, but an absolute shit developer with a ton of empty promises, with shitty games that I'm no longer going to support. Until Bethesda changes so many things about their company and their leadership and management positions. I don't want to do it. And especially, again, on that engine, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to support Bethesda developed games. Right? Let's make that clear. Bethesda developed games until they make some major changes. I'm not buying their games anymore. Plain and simple. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. You guys have been great. All of the new followers and subscribers and just overall attention I've been getting here over the last few weeks has been awesome on my channel. You guys take care. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace.